Where can I put my phone?
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I forgot to check to see, who's here yet. I hope everyone's having an awesome day. I have my friend Stephanie here of Quilting with Stephanie Stitches, and we
Hello.
are working on month 4 of Bumbleberry Pie. And I don't have my pattern here, so I can't pull up the finished
There you
product.
go.
Oh, there you, oh, she's got this month's pattern where we're doing friendship stars,
Yes.
which I think are going to be awesome. And, um, the first time I did Friendship Stars, I ended up calling them Ninja Stars
That's
because,
what they look like. They look
and,
like
and I,
that.
I, I was in a class and everything, and the instructor, she was like, "Really, Russ?" So so far we have Jen, good morning, Tamala and Crystal, good morning. So, Stephanie, what do you have coming up? Do you have anything exciting you want to start with?
Oh, I have so many things because I think I might have been a little crazy.
We
But
all
I
are.
made I made a schedule for the next month, and so I have something scheduled for every Saturday in October, except the last Saturday because that's quilt market. But due to some scheduling things going on in my personal life, I actually cannot go to quilt market now. So
Oh no,
that's okay. It's all right. Because everything that I was going to quilt market for, I can do here through my reps, so it's fine,
that's
and
true.
actually will save me some money on airfare and hotels and stuff. So I'm not that sad about it. But because of that, I don't have anything scheduled that Saturday. So that might be a good, bring some friends on, maybe Russ.
Ah, that'll be
Do
fun.
something fun. Um, but this Saturday or later today, I should say, at 4 p.m., I'm going an hour earlier. I'm going to sew up let me grab it without knocking everything down. The Tulips Bloom pattern by Tracy
Ooh.
Perks of, yeah, Rope and Anchor Trading Company. I told you my brain's broken this morning.
I blame the concert.
Yep, I went to a concert last night with my daughter. So much fun, but my brain's a little bit fuzzy because I'm still hearing a little bit of ringing in my ears. And then next Saturday is the first Saturday of October. So most people know that October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So I'm going to be sewing a pattern that's free from By Annie called Bosom Buddies. It's a pad that you can put on your seatbelt. It's meant for women with mastectomies to protect that area, but it's for anybody. I'm making one for myself and for my daughter because my daughter is starting to drive and she's really short. She's only 5'2", and the seatbelt cuts into her neck. So I'm gonna make her one to wear. Um,
Ah, it's a
but
good
that's
idea.
a free pattern from By Annie, and they're doing that to support breast cancer awareness. They're giving it to everybody for free for October. So that's next Saturday. Let me think. And then today I'm here with Russ, and then in a few weeks from now we're gonna come back and we're gonna sew some more on this. So lots of stuff going on.
I have to say this has been like the first block of the month that I've had in like ages that I've had to because I have somebody to sew with and
Yes,
doing deadlines that I am keeping tabs of this. Like,
that's what it helps, doesn't it?
oh yeah, I have other projects that have just fallen to the wayside. I'm like, I gotta get
Oh,
those
me
back. I gotta get
too.
those back.
I have a cotton cuts that is months behind because we have not been sewing it together.
Uh-huh.
So
I have two, and I still haven't finished the previous one.
yeah, yeah.
So
So
so yeah, I've got to get those. Like I can throw mine to the wayside, but I got to get, my sister's done, and then my former
yeah,
coworkers has to get done. So I think I need to do what you have done and just start scheduling out and say I'm going to work on this, 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 and
yeah.
those um into my calendar
Well, maybe
but
that last Saturday we sew some cotton cuts.
I do have, a week off in a couple weeks, so I'll be excited about that.
Oh, yay. Awesome. Oh, your birthday's coming up.
Shh, don't tell everybody.
Uh, uh,
So let me see if I can get this working. Did it work? It worked.
Yay.
I'm taking a page out of what Stephen had suggested, and I got OBS working as a virtual camera.
That's cool.
So I'm
Very
I'm a
cool.
little excited because The last time I tried to do the multicam thing, doing a extra window pane in Zoom,
Uh-huh.
the virtual machine just kept crashing
Oh,
and freezing. So I'm like, this will work as soon as I got it working. So I'm kind of
yay.
excited.
That looks cool.
So we've had Jeannie come in. Good morning. And Robert and Karen. Are y'all related? Probably not. Sweet Granny, Kathy, good morning. And Sue, good morning. Crystal says that she has unfinished stuff and need to do them too. Christmas is coming up in less than 100 days. So
That's a scary thought right there.
yeah. And
Yeah.
I like some of the stuff that I'm like, I wanted to get done for Christmas. I may not get done, but there's a couple things that I need to get done for Christmas. So that's what I think I need to start prioritizing
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
getting the calendar out there and saying, okay, I'm working on it here, 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 and here.
Yeah. It does help. Even if you can't always stick to the calendar, it does help get you on
Yeah.
task.
Elaine, one of my neighbors, is asking how I made out with a hurricane in my neighborhood. Nothing happened. The hurricane, for everybody, it shifted itself to the east, and the west side of the storm is usually a lot less intense. So we got rain. We got rain. It was about 6:45-ish in the morning. We started getting some good wind and gusts and everything, but those were done by 8:15. So it
Mhm.
wasn't really intense. It was pretty calm. Um, I have a coworker who lives east of us that lost power, and
Oh,
I haven't had a chance to check in on her yet to see if she's gotten power back. And if she hasn't gotten power back, I don't want to be using her phone battery to say, "Do you have power?"
yeah. Yeah. Understandable.
And I haven't looked because I have friends in Athens where the storm just went straight through, and I haven't had a chance to peek on Facebook to see how he's faring because I
Mm.
imagine they lost power for a little bit at least.
Yeah.
But
What a
here it
crazy
was,
storm. It seems like it got so big so fast and wiped out a lot more places than they ever thought it would.
yeah. And we have another storm brewing right now, is the bad part.
Oh,
Same area.
man.
So we'll see what that one does. But yeah, here it was just a whole bunch of rain. My backyard, Georgia red clay does not drain, so my
Yeah.
backyard was basically a giant puddle.
Oh,
And poor Riley, she didn't want to go potty Thursday night.
mhm.
And I'm like, well, I got you out a few hours ago, so you're not going to go about 12 hours without going potty if you don't go now,
Yeah.
which is, a bad work day. So I got up early on Friday and I took her out and she just squatted. I'm like, thank you. You're a good girl. That's all that matters is that you're going potty. We will go out after the storm because they said the storm is going to end about 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. So it was about 9:30. It had mostly calmed down and I took her around the block and she pooped and she pooped again. So that was good.
Oh, goodness.
Good morning, Charlotte. Crystal says that she's glad to hear that we're safe.
Yeah.
So we are making half square triangles with this, which is not the first time we made half square triangles, but we're doing 8 at a time.
Yes, we are.
And they tell us that we should make an X. I don't like doing that. I knew that we're trimming them down. So I printed out some triangulations last night because I'm that kind of crazy.
I think you're kind of smart. I'm doing that. Yours are going to go quicker. We're making ninja stars today.
Yes. Maybe ninja stars go one direction and friendship stars go the other direction.
There you go. I like that.
So last week when David was here, we both bought a bunch of fabric at Threadbare. And I ended up buying a layer cake. And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I
Hmm.
will eventually figure something out to do with it.
Hmm.
Missouri Stars tutorial yesterday is what I'm going to do with it. It's a almost like a miller's wheel, I think she called it.
That
So
uses a layer cake.
yeah, she the tutorial she did was a layer cake, and where did I put layer cake's right here. So it's the Fiesta layer cake
Oh, cool.
that has just a whole bunch of brights in here.
Yep.
So I'm like, this will work perfectly the um with that pattern. So that means I need to buy more fabric, and I don't quite feel like going up there on a Saturday because it gets to be really slow. They don't have a lot of room for a cutting table.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'll just order it online. I think she charges like $6 shipping or something like that.
That's
And
not
if I'm
too
paying $100 for fabric, which is the background and the binding and backing,
bad.
I'm like, I can justify paying $6 for shipping for that. It'll be here probably Monday. No, actually not Monday, Tuesday probably.
Nice.
Unless I order it early and then it'll be here Monday.
She does ship really fast.
She does ship very fast, and as long as the post office comes same day, I usually get it the next day.
Yeah. I was surprised when we ordered this kit how fast I got it.
I did look, and she's not selling kits anymore, but she does have all 12 months set as
Oh, cool. So
the
people can
block of the
still
month.
participate if they
So
want.
I did put in the description below the video the link to all 12 months.
Nice.
It's a little bit more than having bought the kit, but it's still cheaper than buying the kit elsewhere.
Yeah. I haven't really seen the kit elsewhere, have you?
There was a shop, I believe, in South Carolina that has the kit.
Oh, do they? Okay.
Yeah, that's the only other place I saw the kit, and it was more expensive than Threadbare.
I meant to tell you that, and I maybe already did. If I did, you can stop me. I met Nancy McNally last year at Cold Market, and I didn't realize until we started working on this that it was the same person.
You did tell me when we were doing the first block, which was very exciting to hear because it's always nice when you can meet the pattern designer and stuff.
Yeah, very cool. And actually, this isn't the one that she had there. It was a different one, and I was really attracted to it. But so it's no surprise that I like this one too, because she seems to design a lot of hers the same way.
Yeah. Crystal just asked, how do we get the pattern? And the pattern is a paid pattern. It's a block of the month. Unfortunately, the only way to get it right now is through the block of the month or kits. And I have a link in the description where to buy the like all 12 months if you want to buy them as the block of the month.
Yeah.
They're $17 a month and 12 months. So whatever that math ends up being.
Yeah. I don't think that's bad though. This
It
fabric to
is
me.
it is a very reasonable, and you can buy all 12 months, so you only pay shipping once, as opposed to, a lot of the block of the months you get that they're already like 20 bucks a month or so, 20, 30 bucks a month, and then you still have to pay your $5 shipping on top of that.
Yeah.
No, Crystal, right now you cannot get just the pattern. I think Stephanie said that in the past she's released the patterns after the block of the month is
After the
over.
month block of the month's over. Yeah. Yeah.
So I can see this being kitted up in many different fabric styles.
Yeah.
It'd be gorgeous in grunge.
Oh, it would be. Grunge or anything bright, I think would look nice.
Yeah.
I could see like the Tula Pink lovers loving liking this in Tula Pink.
Oh, yeah, I can see this in her true colors.
Yeah.
The Secret Garden block of the month pattern that I bought last week,
Hmm.
again on my binge. Camille Ross Kelly just announced yesterday, I think it was, her new fabric line that's coming out in April.
The Christmas one?
Summertime. I think
Or
it's
summertime. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I think that is going to be gorgeous for that block of the month. So I'm going to start trying to
Yes.
plan that for when my other projects are calmed down because you know at least one of the graduation quilts will be done.
Nice.
Because
I
my
love
sister
the
is
summertime fabric.
graduating. Well, her last class finishes in December, so she will be graduating in May. My niece, not so much. Stupid foot.
Yeah.
But she's going for a double major instead.
Oh, there you go. At least she was able to like turn lemons into lemonade.
Exactly. Good morning, Julie, who says good morning, Russ and Stephanie.
Good morning. I don't know about you, Russ, but I'm excited for that new Camille line. I love that she went back to the rainbow.
Oh, yeah, I love the old Bonnie and Camille colors. And when I saw that, I was like, this is just gorgeous.
Yeah.
Crystal says she was excited to cut into now. She found something new. She wished she would have waited. And it was just 5.5 inch square she cut, needed a new idea. So the great thing about triangulations is all I have to do now is cut on the lines.
Nice.
And I'm just
So
going to,
those are the exact size, so there's no trimming or anything.
this is what I'm calling the trimming.
Yeah. And
Yeah, because you already have
no
to
further
oversize
trimming.
slightly, but yeah, there's no extra trimming.
Nice.
It saves, minutes.
Well, and if somebody likes paper piecing, it's similar to that, right?
It is very much similar to paper piecing. I call it paper piecing's crazy cousin because you don't have to do all that flipping and seam allowance stuff that you'd have to do with paper piecing.
Yeah.
You do get to sew on a line. So Thursday, I got to do something that a bunch of my friends can't do.
What?
I had to change a tire.
Oh.
I because they let us work from home on Thursday and Friday due to the storm, and I didn't have breakfast food in the house. I decided at lunchtime that I needed to go get breakfast food.
Uh-huh.
I left the neighborhood and I got like a block and a half up the street, and my tire light came on. And because I hadn't passed the back entrance to the neighborhood, I turned around, got back into the garage, and saw a giant hole in my tire. So I was like, okay, that doesn't look like that's supposed to be there. And I had to put my donut on, and thankfully, Discount Tire was still open, and I was able to go get 3 new tires because I'm not a fan of the way that the tires sound when you have a different tire, but I'm stuck with it. So I need to go back next week and get the 4th new tire.
Yeah.
But
It's good they
yeah,
were open even due to the storm, you know.
I was glad that they didn't close early. Yeah. Nobody
Yeah.
really closed early because the storm was coming during overnight, but we all know
Oh,
you don't need to be on the road. We got to get the linemen out there and everything else.
yeah.
So, and they put those tires on incredibly fast.
Oh, good.
And I changed my tires without messing with my nails.
That's awesome. I would be calling AAA. I actually
Good
just got all new
morning.
tires on my car about a month ago, and they had to get 2 from Detroit and 2 from Akron. It was weird because they didn't have 4 in one spot.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Good morning, Ingrid and Scrunchions.
Good morning.
Ingrid says she loves the quilt more, worry less hanging behind you, Stephanie.
Oh, thanks. That was the first thing I did out of the Missouri Star box last year because it was just so fun and perfect for our sewing room. Oh, Colleen's here. She said she made 2 little dresses for the project Dress a Girl this week. Awesome.
Oh, fun.
She said, I'm back from the dark side, ready to get quilting again. Right? And I know Colleen just got her Winnie the Pooh block of the month. I saw her put the message up that she got hers. So,
Oh, I have pondered that, but I have
yeah,
way too many other projects going on right now. I need to clear some of my project list before I buy too many more big projects.
understood completely. That is my biggest problem is I like, oh, I can't take any more because like I'm so busy and then I go, oh, nope, gotta have that one. I gotta stop doing that.
I'm looking at the diagram, making sure that I have my directions going correctly
Yeah.
because I've done that too many times doing it wrong.
It's so easy to do, especially when you're like trying to read the chat and trying to sew and trying to, yep.
Charlotte is flying to North Carolina on Friday today for her sister's wedding. Oh,
Nice. Hopefully it's not in Asheville. I heard they got hit really bad by the storm.
I have seen so many flooding pictures in North Carolina.
Yeah.
I
So sad. It's just,
Yeah, one of the pictures I saw was one of the interstates looking over the, main road artery that the exit's over,
mhm.
and all you just see is like it's a river.
Ugh,
And
wow.
I'm like, there's a road down there.
I can't even imagine, especially in a place where you don't normally get that kind of weather,
Uh-huh.
to like wake up one day and be like, "Oh, my house has a river in it." That would just I don't I don't even know how you'd process that.
We have a stream down probably about 7 or 8 houses down from me.
Hmm.
And 2 years ago, we got 8 inches of rain in 15 minutes.
Oh my goodness.
And that poor stream did not know what to do. And we had neighbors that had a shed in their backyard
Uh-huh.
that kind of fell into the stream.
Oh gosh.
And they had just bought the house.
Oh no.
They were like, we're not quite certain what to do. And we had some other neighbors like, okay, we can help you fish it out of the stream,
Yeah.
but we also still don't know what you should do.
Right. That's jeez. Terrible. Well, thankfully it wasn't their whole house. It was a shed.
Yeah. And when I was looking at this neighborhood, there was another house. I don't think it was that house. I think it was a neighbor that I was looking at. And I was like, I'd rather have the slightly larger backyard so that
Mm-hmm.
Bradley could have had room to run
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to that house that had the newer kitchen.
Mm. You're such a good animal parent. You really are. Your animals have the lucky is the best life. They're so lucky with you.
Poor David, though, when he was here, Riley needed to go outside. And it was right before we were heading to some errand or we were heading out for something. So David said that he would take her outside. So he grabs the leash, takes her outside, and I go
Mm-hmm.
outside with them, just trying to make sure, she goes and everything. He wasn't holding on to the leash well.
Uh-oh.
And Lulu next door comes out,
Uh-oh.
and Riley went flying.
Riley's like, ooh, friend.
And David's trying to figure out how to catch her.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're never going to get her this way.
Aw.
They're the ones who aren't quite as great of a parent because poor Lulu doesn't get to play anymore
Aw.
because she had surgery on both of her back legs. And the parents claim the doctor says she's not allowed to run anymore.
Oh, poor baby.
So the only time that they get to play is when they're both at daycare.
Yeah. Mm. They go to the same daycare?
Yes, but Lulu doesn't get to go to daycare enough. And Riley, go. The only time Lulu gets to go is when they go out of town.
Oh, I see. Mhm.
And Riley goes Fridays
Yeah.
unless a hurricane comes.
Ingrid says she signed up for the poo block of the month, but she didn't get the fabric kit. She was going to use her stash. Great.
Oh,
It is really a good stash buster quilt because it has 53 fabrics, but some of them are just like little bits, right?
yeah.
So, and Candace is here. Candace Ziminoff. She said, hi, Russ. Good morning, Russ.
Good morning, Candace. Jen says that September and October were get things finished months and
Nice.
will allow herself to splurge at Quilt Festival.
Wonderful. Oh, you're going to have the best time. That's awesome.
Elaine says parts of I-40 and Tennessee, North Carolina border were washed away.
Oh, goodness gracious. Hmm. Oh, Charlotte said the wedding's in Wilmington. Their honeymoon was supposed to be planned in Asheville, but I'm gonna guess that's gonna change now. Well, that'll be a nice place for a wedding, though. Wilmington's beautiful.
I have not been there
Mhm. It's right on the water. It's so pretty.
because I've been in Charlotte only because US Scareways has their hub there.
US Airways.
Oh, I hated flying them.
Yeah.
And then I've been to Raleigh for QuiltCon.
Oh God, yeah. Speaking of airways, I went to book a flight for next spring for somewhere that I'm going, a trip I'm going on. And I am typically a Southwest flyer
Uh-huh.
because they usually have really good fares and I like that they don't charge for bags and all that stuff. And I went to look at the flights and from here to Florida and Florida back, it was for one person, $1,700 round trip. Yes. I said that too. I was like, what the heck is going on with Southwest? And I checked like different.
Southwest is apparently on drugs or something.
That's what I said. I was like, what is going on with Southwest? So I checked other airlines and I really don't like to fly. American is my least favorite airline. But I looked at other flights and there was none out of Cleveland except for American and Delta. But on Delta, I would have had to stop in Washington and Atlanta. And I was like, ugh. And then American had a direct flight to where I was going. And for the less than what I would have paid on Southwest, $1,700, it was $1,500. And I didn't book anything yet because I'm hoping that Southwest figures out that there's something going on there because I sent them a message. Because that
Yeah.
seems ridiculous. For less than what Southwest was, I could got a first class direct flight to Florida on American.
Yeah.
I was
Uh,
like, there's something
I
wrong here.
know they have some funny stuff going on right now because they're changing their policy to book a seat.
Yeah, but that doesn't
And
start till 2016.
you mean
I
26?
mean, 2026. Sorry. Ah,
I've also heard that Southwest is cutting down some of their gates here in Atlanta
I heard that too.
because
But
they
I was like,
have the entire one side of Terminal C.
oh, wow. But I was like shocked. I was like, what happened to Southwest? So I know you're a Southwest flyer too. So
Yeah, which means graduation flight in May is going to be standard boarding policy, and then next May is going to end up being pick a seat.
the pick
Oh,
a seat. Yeah. Yeah. They just finalized. I saw the announcement the other day. The way they're going to do it is you can either pay to pick a seat when you book your ticket, or you can like leave it up to chance and like 48 hours ahead of time, they'll have like a computer auto assign you a seat.
similar to the way that it assigns you a boarding party.
Yes. Yep. Charlotte said we got our 5 round trip tickets 2 months ago with Southwest for under $1,500. See, for 5 of them.
Yeah,
I
they had
was,
to have had a glitch.
I don't know, but like one way was 800 and something. And I was like, what is going on? Like, this can't be right.
I can get here to Phoenix round trip for like 450.
Right, exactly. That's why I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. I was like, there's got to be something wrong. So I'm gonna check in a couple days because I sent them a message through their
Yeah,
message thing to say, is this right or is there some mistake? Because this it seems ridiculous. Because I have like a Southwest, I have the loyalty thing, and I have their credit card to earn points and stuff like that. So I typically always fly them. So
yeah.
if they fix it, I want to fly them, but not for that much money. Colleen says,
Colleen
it sounds
says it
like you're
sounds
getting
like you're
Air
getting
Canada.
Air Canada prices.
It kind of sounds like it, huh? Yep. All right, so let's lay out this block. I am also looking at the picture so I don't do it wrong.
I'm just going to be sad with the whole open seating removal because
No.
I mean I get it there. Well, it it makes me wonder what happened first because I have never experienced the people holding the seats like you have been seeing a lot in the news lately. So I'm wondering if there was a whole bunch of news articles put about people holding seats,
Mhm.
which is what is making the Southwest changing their policy seem better for customers, or what? Because like there have been a ton of articles about the bad Southwest boarding, and then they make this announcement. I'm like, that can't be coincidence.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I've never really seen people holding seats too much unless it's like for like a family member, right?
Yeah,
And then it's not a whole row, it's like one person. Um,
which,
I'm
in my
like,
opinion, both family members should get the A boarding if you want the seat together like that.
yeah, I agree with you. The only thing that I saw that I thought was an issue is that like some flights, like the last flight I took, which was where did I fly last? Oh, to Texas. Um, when I flew to Texas, there was like, you know how they do the pre-boarders?
Yep.
There was 17 wheelchairs.
Oh, good golly.
There were 17 and each person had a person with them. So by the time you got on the flight, the whole front part of the plane was full. And I was like, I actually got really lucky because I have the Southwest credit card. I got a free upgrade. So I was like A2.
Uh-huh.
So I was second person on the plane in the regular group. And I literally had to sit all the way back by the emergency exit row.
Well, I prefer exit row because I've got,
Well, you're so
longer
tall.
legs than the average human.
Yeah, you do. You are. You're tall. But I
And
was like, oh my gosh, like half the plane was full already because there were so many pre-boards. Now, I'm not saying people shouldn't pre-board, obviously, if they are truly disabled and need it. But the interesting thing to me about that, and I'm going to say this, and please don't think I'm the bad guy, because if somebody truly needs it, I totally believe they should have it. But when we got to our destination, only two of those 17 people waited for a wheelchair. Everybody else hopped up and walked off the plane. I was like, hmm.
yeah, I've heard of that happening.
Yeah, I was like, did they really need to pre-board? It makes you wonder, that's all. And I
It
think that might have been a
it
lot
makes
of
you
it.
think that you should actually have a medical note to get pre-board. Like you have to have
Yeah,
a medical note to get the um parking sticker.
yeah, I agree. I actually think that was more of what people complained about. I really didn't hear too many people complain about the A, B, and C too often. I heard it complaining about like all the pre-boarders. So you hope that people don't do that, but it makes you wonder if people are,
Yeah. I mean,
lying just to get on earlier, like maybe they got a bad grouping and they want to just get on earlier.
I, I am not one to obviously question if like when I see somebody with a parking sticker,
Yep.
I am not going to question, do you really deserve that parking sticker? Because I know that there are people that 80% of the time walk fine, and then there's the other 10% that's like, okay, I really need that parking sticker.
Yeah, I agree.
And like I'm like, if you need it for like even 5% of the time, you need that parking sticker. I don't care.
Yeah.
And I do not judge, but yeah, it's like, did you really need? Do you really need to inconvenience other people because you don't want to wait?
Yeah.
It it just feels weird.
Yeah, it does. Charlotte goes, makes you say, yes,
Yeah.
exactly. I'm with Russ. If somebody needs it, definitely use it, but I felt like it's a little bit abused.
This is the first time we get to put a previous block in with this.
I know.
Now the
Exciting.
question is, can I get this laid out properly? Okay, what's the layout?
Sylvia said it's really important if you need pre-board stat if people are abusing. I know, right? And that's the thing is that I am totally like Russ said. If somebody needs it, I want them to use it. I think they should, but it makes you think when you see, more than half of the people that pre-board jump off the plane and walk with you all the way to pick up their baggage and carry on, and they didn't need any assistance. So it makes you go, don't know about that. And then you start thinking the next time you fly, you question in your mind, like, do all these people really need
Right.
this? You hate to feel that way. I hate to feel that way because I know there's really truly people who need it. Charlotte said, keep checking, Stephanie. The prices seem to change hourly. I know. I'm going to keep checking for a little bit, but if it doesn't change, because I'm a planner, Charlotte. I need to have all my ducks in a row. If it doesn't change within the next week, I'm going to just book on another airline because that's
When are you flying?
crazy. March.
Okay. So you still got plenty of time.
I do, but like I said,
You also want to keep your ducks in a row and have it planned.
I do. I'm one of those that once I know I'm going somewhere, I like to have everything done, prepared ahead of time, because here's my philosophy. If I have everything as much as I can possibly planned out and prepared ahead of time, if something does go wrong, I am more in a headspace to deal with it
Yeah.
because I'm not thinking about all the other things I still have to do.
It's like QuiltCon this past year. The plans changed like 12 times in the last hour of it.
Yes.
For that last week, I was like, okay, I'm done with just trying to fight with this. And I
Yeah.
drove.
See, and that your situation, that would have made me absolutely nuts to the point where I would have been like, okay, I'm just not going to go.
I pondered that one as well, but I was like, I got people I want to see.
I was going to say, but I'm glad you did because we would not have seen you then.
Now,
Oh,
QuiltCon in February is seeming more and more like a no, especially since, I purchased the couch last weekend, which was
yeah.
a larger expense, and then tires, you know, Thursday.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like, I really want to go, but
Speaking of going, Crystal said she has to run. She said, can't wait to see the finished projects. Have a good day.
see you, Crystal.
Bye, Crystal. Thank you. Yeah, it's hard when you have some unexpected expenses like that. And Ingrid said, Russ, I'm glad you went to QuiltCon. It was good to meet you in person.
It's always good to meet a fellow Bentley alum.
Hmm.
Although we never compared to see if we had the same professor.
Well, you have Georgia. You can talk to her about it.
There's only a couple professors that I really remember. They were my
Mhm.
favorites. I do remember there was one class, it was intro to web development or web page design or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And the professor, he was hilarious. But he was teaching us how to do basic colors and stuff and the commands. And he asked like a random person in the class for a color, and they said something like turquoise or something, and it took him so long to figure out how to spell turquoise. And then he asks for another color, and I yell out BADA55 because you can use hex colors for
Okay, yeah.
hex numbers for that.
Yep.
And you heard somebody giggle in the background. And he keeps going, and he starts to say, you can do the Netscape color of turquoise, or you can do a hex color of, and then he stopped. And then the entire class starts giggling. And he goes, Russ,
Wait
why
for
did you
you
do
to
that to
say.
me? Because BADA55 looks like you're spelling badass. And I was basically forbidden from, well, I ended up coming up with other words that can be spelled like that. But he was kind of annoyed for a while. And the following year, a friend of mine had that same class with him. And he again asks for a color, and she goes, BADA55. And he goes, how's Russ doing?
That's funny.
But he found it a challenge to figure out the word based on the way the letters looked.
Yeah.
And then I ran out of words, so I ended up saying, uh, I forget what the number was, but he goes, I don't get it. And I was like, that was my zip code that I lived in South Carolina, along with the number of years that I lived there.
Oh,
And he goes, nobody would have understood. I was like, exactly.
Maritza's here. Maritza's Yarn and Crafts. Hi.
Hi, Maritza.
And
I'm
then
sorry. Hola, Maritza.
Ingrid, and Ingrid said, yes, you can compare notes in Georgia. Trying to get one of these 12-inch blocks put together so it can see before we're done here.
I have discovered as I'm putting it together that I need to do my pressing slightly different on my stars
Oh,
for my future stars, just so the seams nest properly.
yeah.
Had I thought to plan, or it's probably more had I read the pressing directions, that they're in the pressing directions.
I don't know if there are, but oh, there are, but it
It
didn't make.
also means that you had to follow the pressing directions on the first block properly too.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't follow them on the first block, and maybe they had us press them a different way because they didn't nest on mine, and I'm gonna actually rip one of these out so I can fix that. Because I actually followed the pressing, or I pressed it the way that they show for the stars. So I think it's the 9 patches I didn't press right.
I was able to repress the friendship star to get
Oh, to make it work.
to make it work, and I just have one seam that does not nest.
Okay, that's good. That's not too bad.
So because you can't repress all of your seams in the friendship star.
Yeah.
So that just tells me I need to press one seam slightly different in the star, and everything will nest,
Yeah.
or just leave it how it's going.
Or I just might have to eek, actually pin.
Oh, I'm not going that far.
You're like, no, oh, you're like, oh no, that's it.
I I can line it up and stitch and pray,
Stitch and pray. I like that. That's a good method, stitch and pray.
which worked on my first one, and I think it's working on this one. Jen just finished binding and labeling a quilt from 2015.
Oh, nice. Good job. She's not kidding about getting her projects done, huh?
Does that count as a label being a 2015 label or a 2024 label? I've kind of wondered that. Does the label go on when you finish the top, or does the label date be your top finish date, the quilting finish date, or the binding finish date?
I've honestly never really thought about that. I usually put my label on like on the backing fabric right before I long arm.
Okay.
So usually that's when, if I put a label on, that's usually when I do it. So if it's got a date, it would be from the quilting date. But I got smarter a couple years ago because that happened and I'd have some stuff sitting around that I started not putting the dates on my labels. I just took that off and kept my name on them. Because then if they go over another year or something like that, then,
The
nope.
only reason why I end up asking is because my like when I was using an external long armor, I would give 8 or 9 projects,
Uh-huh.
and they would be quilted, and then it would still take me several months to get it finished. So sometimes they crossed years.
Oh, yeah. So I finished one of the 12-inch.
And I've got to finish too.
Woohoo! They look cool.
I think that these are going to be exciting.
This is fun. Yeah. I
And I
really
was
like it
looking
came
at
out.
the finished quilt top, and we still got another 12-inch square to make before we can make a bigger 24-inch square.
Yeah, yeah. But the everything came out like fit together really nicely, which means we sewed something right earlier. So that's good. Mm, that looks nice.
Except mine two are off by a few threads.
Oh, through threads is nothing.
I know. I can stretch that, or I can probably,
Yeah,
it's probably enough of my wrinkle.
yeah.
So we've got a few more to finish before homework,
Yes,
which I
yeah.
still haven't finished the homework from last month because I had to rip that one out.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But that'll be done. I got the center done right here from last month. I just haven't put the
The
rest of the
other bit
pieces
back
around
on.
it.
Yeah.
So as soon as I get a few minutes, I can put that together.
Well, let's make it a goal since you're off for a week and we'll get all of our caught up before we
Oh
start
yeah,
next time so we
all
can
the
show
call-ups
them.
that I got to get done next or in 2.5 weeks.
That's exciting though to have a week off of work. That's cool.
I know. I feel I say that I need it, but work has been so slow the past 2 weeks that I have no idea what to do at work right now. We're in that weird lull.
Sometimes that's worse because it makes your days feel like they're so long and tiring.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, at least when I'm home, I can work on other home projects.
Yeah.
I need to start bringing my laptop in here and just start sewing. But I've
Yeah.
got other home projects that I've been working on the past couple days. But we're in the office 3 days a week, so more than half my week is sitting in the long, I don't know what to do. So I've just started organizing files on my network share and stuff. Or, when they decide that they want to lay me off, I can have everything about as organized to give to whoever needs it,
Yeah, yeah.
as if most of my files are required anymore. Anything that's required is under a documentation folder.
Yeah.
So let's get a reminder of what you have, like high level, what's going on coming up that we can be excited for. Four
Oh,
o'clock tonight.
yes, 4 o'clock this afternoon, Eastern time, that is. I'm going to be sewing up the Tulips Bloom pattern from Rope and Anchor Trading Company. And I'm going to have a guest here. She's actually in the chat right now. Julie's going to come on with me and we're going to sew this together. So I'm really excited about that. Yeah. She did the in pieces one and then I think she became a Rope and Anchor fan because she went and did the witch's hat and now she's doing this one. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And then next week, of course, on Wednesdays, there's always the sew day with Stephen and I, and Russ pops in for lunch. So that's always a fun day. So if you want to join that. And then
I might
next
join more
Saturday,
this week if I could find a power plug.
yeah. And then next Saturday, Ingrid, who is here in the chat, is going to join me to make the bosom buddy, the pads that go on your seatbelt from by Annie, which is a free pattern. And you can find the links to all these patterns like under the listed live video. So hope to see you guys then. Thanks, Russ.
Awesome. And then for me, on Wednesday nights now, I have my weekly vlog that is going to have all the shenanigans that I got up to this week, which, includes a tire change and hurricane and everything so far. So hopefully the rest of the week is kind of quiet. This past vlog, I realized as I was recording, was a long one. But it was still a lot of fun to go back and go through, like, this is how much of an awesome weekend I had
Yeah.
and justified how exhausted I was on Monday. Next weekend on my Elevenses, I am going to be working on the next Saturday sampler block. I will
Nice.
get the card up shortly so that anybody who is planning on sewing with has a comparable pattern, because I can't share the exact pattern because it's, copyright and everything. But I did find one that is very similar. Again, that's what I've been doing every month, finding something that is very similar. And hopefully, after that, I can again start planning like Stephanie has done and say, let's work on this day, this day, and hopefully get at least 3 of my Christmas projects done.
Nice. Nice.
So,
And when is your next sew day?
my next sewing shenanigans day
Yes.
is going to be, and this has not been announced to anybody yet, October 13th. So
Yay!
it's the start of my week off.
Cool.
So we're gonna have a lot of fun there. It is the weekend before Stephen's retreat.
Mhm.
So nobody is going to end up missing anything. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm adjusting the hours so that we're not, missing any of Stephen's live. So
Cool.
I'll get that email out and that announcement out soon, probably next weekend. That way everybody has a week to get prepared.
I'm excited because I'm in town this time, so I get to come.
Oh, awesome.
Yay!
So yeah, hopefully everyone that wants to can make it. If you want to be notified, just send me an email. I'll put you onto the mailing list, which I got to remember to get the mailing list updated with a handful of people who have asked over the past couple days. Um, oh, Charlotte says her daughter-in-law and her are making brooms later today.
Oh. I knew
Awesome.
you were a witch, Charlotte, but I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
So I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of your day. Toodles.
Bye.